Work, energy, and power. Introduction. The term work, energy, and power are frequently used in everyday language. A farmer ploughing the field, a construction worker carrying bricks, a student studying for competitive examination, an artist painting a beautiful landscape, all are said to be working. In physics, however, the word work covers a definite and precise meaning. Somebody who has the capacity to work for 14 to 16 hours a day is said to have a large stamina or energy. We admire long distance runner for his stamina or energy. Energy is thus our capacity to do work. In physics too, the term energy is related to work in this sense. But as said above, the term work itself is defined much more precisely. The word power is used in everyday life with different shades of meaning. In karate or boxing, we talk of powerful punches. These are delivered at a great speed. This shade of meaning is close to the meaning of word power used in physics. We shall find that there is a loose correlation between the physical definitions and the physiological pictures these terms generate in our mind. The aim of this chapter is to develop an understanding of these three physical quantities. Before we proceed to do this task, we need to develop mathematical prerequisite, namely the scalar product of two vectors. The scalar product. We have learnt about vectors and their use in chapter 4. Physical quantities like displacement, velocity, acceleration, force, etc. are vectors. We have also learnt how vectors are added or subtracted. We now need to know how vectors are multiplied. There are two ways of multiplying vectors which we shall come across. One way, known as the scalar product, gives a scalar form of two vectors, and the other, known as the vector product, produces a new vector from two vectors. We shall look at the vector product in chapter 7. Here we take up the scalar product of two vectors. The scalar product or dot product of any two vectors a and b, denoted as a dot b, read as a dot b, is defined as a dot b equals ab cos theta, where theta is the angle between the two vectors as shown in figure 6.1a. Since a, b and cos theta are scalars, the dot product of a and b is a scalar quantity. Each vector a and b has a direction, but their scalar product does not have direction. From equation 6.1a, we have a dot b equals a into b cos theta, which equals b into a cos theta. Geometrically, b cos theta is a projection of b onto a in figure 6.1b, and a cos theta is a projection of a onto b in figure 6.1c. So, a dot b is a product of the magnitude of a and the component of b along a. Alternatively, it is a product of the magnitude of b and the component of a along b. Equation 6.1a shows that the scalar product follows the commutative law. A dot b equals b dot a. Scalar product always obeys the distributive law. A dot b plus c equals a dot b plus a dot c. Further, a dot lambda b equals lambda into a dot b, where lambda is a real number. The proofs of the above equations are left to you as an exercise. For unit vectors I cap, j cap, k cap, we have I cap dot I cap equals j cap dot j cap equals k cap dot k cap, which equals 1. I cap dot j cap equals j cap dot k cap equals k cap dot j cap equals 0. Given two vectors, vector a equals ax into I cap plus ay into j cap plus az into k cap. Vector b equals bx I cap plus by into j cap plus bz k cap. Their scalar product is a dot b equals ax I cap plus ay j cap plus az k cap dot bx I cap plus by j cap plus bz k cap, which equals ax bx plus ay by plus az bz. From the definition of scalar product and equation 6.1b, we have 1. A dot a equals ax plus ay plus az, or a square equals ax square plus ay square plus az square. Since a dot a equals magnitude of vector a into magnitude of vector a into cos 0, which equals a square. 2. A dot b equals 0 if a and b are perpendicular. Figure 6.1a, the scalar product of two vectors, vector a and vector b, is a scalar. That is, a dot b equals a b cos theta. b cos theta is a projection of b onto a. c. A cos theta is a projection of a onto b.